Hounds, you are once again sitting down with greatness. We are here back on the Houndcast with the lovely Anya Floris. She is the voice behind the beloved Fugue. You know her, you love her, and if you haven't pulled for her, you probably have regrets. But let's go, let's get into it. Let's learn about the legend that she is. How are you doing today?
Ooh, hello. Thank you so much for having me. That's classic. My voice cracked saying hello.
Oh, listen, I do it daily. It is all good.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be here. And I hope everybody is enjoying Fugue.
Oh, most certainly. Listen, she stays on my team, break team all day, every day. So
she's a must for a break team.
Yes, you are a staple. I apologize because sometimes you do get hit.
I know. It's not quite as the luck isn't quite as bad as Fortinian, but Fugue does. She likes to take some hits, but it's okay. She retaliates in kind.
I love that. Well, you know what? Let's get into the artist behind the art. How did you get your start into voiceover work?
Well, I originally studied acting from a very young age, mostly stage acting, focusing on musicals a lot. And then I had done a little bit of voice work here and there in the States, local commercials and stuff like that. And then when I moved to Asia, I was in Seoul in South Korea. First, I had been doing some on-screen acting, and I had a friend who was more into the VA world and said, you have a really good voice and you're a good actor, so have you ever considered voice acting? And I said I'd absolutely love to, but I just don't really know. I don't know how to go about starting that. And he really hooked me up and gave me a bunch of great contacts, and I started pretty immediately. I did some Nexon games, as Nexon is South Korea. Nothing huge, but things that I was really, really happy to be a part of, and I quickly realized that games are my absolute favorite.
Yes.
But I do all kinds of, the commercials and the singing and the anime and whatever it is. If it has a voice, I will do it.
I love hearing, how everyone has gotten, like different starts. Someone was just like, hey, I hear something, you have a talent, and you trusted their ear and you ran with it, and we're very thankful for that, of course.
Yeah, it's quite kind of intimidating to stick yourself into a voice booth. I want to say the first, aside from those local commercials, the first real voice job that I did was a game, and it was like a hyper, like one of those crazy damage phone games.
Yeah.
And walking into a studio with people watching you and having to scream and get stabbed and die was really mortifying, but also possibly the best way to just get over it, because I was already there and I had to do it, and then everything from there was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not embarrassed anymore.
Did you find that you had to do a lot of physical acting for these roles? Like you were moving and getting into it?
Yeah, I think it's that way for pretty much everyone that I know anyway. I don't think anyone can stand still in the booth and do this kind of thing. I really, if I take all of my damage, hit noises that you'll hear at any game, I'm in the booth stabbing myself. And I think you can't not, because you need some kind of physicality to be able to pull that out, I think.
Well, well, understood. Well, and that's definitely a start. It's like, hey, we're just getting into this, and it's like, all right, cool. Here you go. You're getting hit by everything in the game. Let's go.
Oh, yep. But
Well,
it's still my favorite. It's so much fun.
and I did do a little bit of research. You are what, trilingual? You speak three different languages, if I'm correct.
Yes, I do. I speak English and Japanese and Korean.
Do you do voiceover work in multiple languages?
I have. I don't ever want to take any voice work from someone who is a native speaker of that language because I feel like that's a little strange. However, there is a distinct lack of Korean voice actors, not narrators, not like commercial narrators, but character voice actors
Okay.
in Japan. So last year, I actually did. There's a game called Snow Bros,
Hmm.
an old Sega game, and they did a whole remake of it. And I had an offer like, oh, we have some lines for this Korean game, but there's not a lot of. It was a kid's voice too. It's like there's not a lot of people that can do the character actor stuff. Would you like to audition? And I was like, oh, okay, sure. Um, Next thing I know, it's 300 lines. It was one of the main characters. And so I got my Korean friends to listen to my practices and confirm that it was all, that it was all good and okay. But I was very, very honored because it's like the cast list is literally just like Korean people and me. Um, but yeah, it is always fun. I've done a couple of game voices for small games in Japanese as well. And I love doing it, but of course, I'm always like, there's anyone native who can do it, they should do it.
Well, with that, have you ever found that it requires a different acting style, like to convey
Yes,
emotions differently?
definitely. Both Korea and Japan have very distinct styles when it comes to their game and animation voiceovers. You can probably hear that if you compare like English HSR to Japanese or Korean HSR.
Hmm.
It's very it's a lot more like anime, like characterized, I
Okay.
think. Um, and the way you speak normal, Korean or Japanese is way different than like game style.
Hmm.
So it was something that I had to study up a little bit because, um, we want to. That's the style that they do it here, and so you want to match that. Definitely higher tones too.
Okay. Well, let's dive a little bit into your performance with Fugue. How did you feel? Stepping into that role. This is a beloved character. It's like, hey, she's returning to us. She's different now. How was that
Yes.
experience?
The It was really, really interesting, and I stream on Twitch, and I'm playing through HSR right now, and I'm just getting to the Lafu Nasienjo and seeing Tingyun's story for the first time as a whole,
Hmm.
um, and remembering how like sort of bright and carefree she is, and then to contrast that with Fugue, our girl has been through some stuff.
Yes.
She has some trauma. And so I think I talked a lot with the director, the wonderful, wonderful Phil Bach. He's an amazing voice director. Um, and we talked a lot about what her experience had been and how do we bring that into the character having the same sort of soul, but it's definitely she's different
Hmm.
and she's a little wounded. Um, so yeah, it was really interesting. It was really emotional, actually.
That I like how you described it. You know, it's like it's the same soul, but she's wounded. She's been through something, and you know, being able to convey that darkness, because we've all been there. We've all had something go on, you know, happen to us. But being able to,
Hmm.
you know, transition and convey that, you know, vocally, I think it's a skill, and we thank you guys for that.
It's it's an honor to be able to do a character like this. I left the first 4 hours in the studio and just quite literally like sat on the sidewalk in Tokyo and cried, um, because it was so emotional for me, to not only feel like this. I feel like the character had so much, and all of the Hoyo characters, I feel like generally the creators really put their heart and soul into
Yeah.
creating the characters and the stories, and and to be able to work with a director who cares so much, and just a team of people who really want to not just like get the job done, but
Yeah.
really create something special. Um, had me really emotional, and I was just so happy to be a part of something that um, is really important to a lot of people. It's not just like a job where I'm like, oh, that was fun, and that's it. Um, but I feel like it's something that a lot of people find a lot of solace and comfort and friendship in, and I love it.
Yeah, it's, you know, with gotcha games, right? You know, these characters, we we find reasons to pull for them, right? You know, the lore, the look,
Hmm.
the emotional or spiritual connection. There's something within that character that goes,
Hmm.
okay, I
Mm.
resonate there. And I love the fact that's one thing I will always say. I'm going to be a Hoyo show for a moment. There's this that's one thing I always say that Hoyoverse does extremely well: the characterization. The characters feel alive. They feel a part of this
Yes,
world. It feels like you've met and interacted with like a living, breathing character. And that's why I really appreciate what you guys do, because you know I can tell that that role had an impact on you, and you were able to funnel that into the performance. So I think that's phenomenal.
yeah, it is. It's really um, a fun project to be a part of, and not just fun, but I feel like has a lot of meaning. Anyone who has played through some HSR knows that sometimes there's so much dialogue that you can't even do the thing you were going to do because you have to just sit there and get through the dialogue. And we love that. We love a good story.
So,
No shade. Absolutely no shade.
no, no. So I myself am catching up on the story as well. So yes, 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 yes. There is a fair amount of dialogue, but I feel as though it always does wrap up very nicely. It's like, hey, we're
Yes.
taking you on this journey. You're gonna go through it, but I feel as
Hmm.
though it is worth the investment. So I understand
Definitely.
what you mean.
Yes.
Because
Yeah. I just the other day I tried to knock out some side quests because I try not to play too much of the main story on my own because I enjoy playing it with on Twitch with
yeah,
people, um, and so I was like, oh, I'll just knock out a couple of side quests. These side quests are quests in themselves. They have stories. They are
yes,
long, and you'll get like 3 new side quests as you're
yes,
going through.
yes. It's like
So, I mean, props to Hoyo. They're creating a lot.
it's. Oh, also, are you on the first arc on the Lofu or the second arc?
First, I've just met Tingyun. We are just going to the artisan commission, so um,
I'm not
I
gonna.
know what happens
Okay.
because but it is really interesting because I didn't see any of the. I only get the videos for like skills and ultimates and actions. We'll match those to videos, but all of the rest of the dialogue is done blind, and often not even the accompanying lines are on the script. So I don't actually know what. The first time I saw Diting, the little dog, the little Chinese cute robot dog, I was like, oh, that's what he is. I have no idea.
Well,
so it's fun.
I'm going to say this. You're going to enjoy the second arc so much. It was so good. But I wanted to, ask, you're within the community, a couple different ways. You're an actress, but you're also a content creator. Could you tell me, how does it feel being a part of, this beloved community?
It's really, really special. I immediately had people reaching out to me to tell me how much they loved the character, loved my performance, and that was really life-changing in a way, because it has always been my voice work, any of my work, but specifically the voice work. My goal is to be something for someone, like characters were for me when I was younger, but also now. Characters in, whether it's an anime or a game or whatever kind of content it is, finding a character that you resonate with or that helps you through something is really an irreplaceable, special, thing in the world. And that's always been just sort of a goal of mine. And so to hear that people have, taken some kind of comfort or had a good time or found some value in the character that I was able to bring to life is incredibly special. And shout out to my Discord. I love them. They are all wonderful. They're watching every stream. I recently did a cosplay stream in full Fugue cosplay, and the pictures will be out soon. So jump on the Discord if you want to see them.
You got to stream in cosplay too.
I want to. I streamed the whole shoot with the photographer, and my lovely Discord directed me as to what Fugue poses they wanted me to do, which was really, really great. And then I left my cosplay at my place in LA because it's really big. I didn't want to. I needed room in my suitcase to bring back Cheetos and Reese's.
Those are essential.
Soon, yeah. It'll happen soon, though.
Well, I do appreciate, you telling us your experiences and your story. But, what is some advice that you have for, aspiring voiceover artists or acting in general?
Yeah. I think it's probably cliche, but obviously comparison is the devil. We don't need it. It's not necessary at all. There will always be something for you that is supposed to be for you. No one is taking roles from you, just like you're not taking roles from them. It's I always forget what the actual quotation is, but the rising tide lifts all the ship. I'm totally butchering that.
With rising tides, all ships rise, I believe.
Something like that, yes. But point being that I really think it's so important, especially with the weird challenges that creators in general are facing in the world at large right now. Mm-hmm. Infighting is like the worst possible thing we could have. We all really need to support each other. So I think maintain the positivity. It can sometimes feel like you're yelling into an echo chamber, recording 5,000 auditions and not hearing anything back. It is frustrating, but there is a community. There's a great community of people who are super supportive and really wonderful, lovely people. And spend that extra $100 or $200 to get a non-USB mic. That's my other advice.
You know what? That is clutch advice, because I started off streaming with a USB mic, and the difference is staggering. Like, sound quality is king.
Yes, and you may think that for auditions it's probably fine because that's not the final, you'll be in a studio later so you can just audition on whatever. Clients are not sound engineers. So they can't really imagine things if they were better quality. The client's going to listen to what it sounds like when you give it to them. So if you can give them great quality for an audition, you're going to sound better. And that's just how it goes. So I do suggest a very good quality microphone.
And now I have to ask you one of my favorite questions.
Ooh, yes.
In the world of, acting or voiceover, what type of, what world or role would you like to step into? Villain, hero, or even, like, hey, I want to take my shot at, being in Star Wars. What's like a dream performance for you?
So, content-wise, a dream role for me would be something like Has Been Hotel, that has singing involved, but is also like a really fun story, or Arcane. Something I really want, like I would love to do a series of some kind that has a really great story to it, and singing is always a bonus, but yeah, I think it would be really fun to try a villain. I did get to do 3 Fantalia lines.
Hey, there we go.
While recording, and I was very proud because they said that they might have Fantalia's original VA redo them if they needed for the mix, and I managed to get my voice down there deep enough to sort of imitate hers, just for those 3 lines. But that would be really fun. Yeah, I think more than a specific role, a really cool story is what I'm always hoping to be a part of.
Well, listen, where can we find more of you on the internet?
Oh, goodness. There are a few things that I voice that they're adorable, but I'm not really allowed to talk about them. Pretty much everyone who knows, but I am working on some very cool projects, and hopefully those will be coming out in the near future. The easiest way to, of course, I have my website, but my Discord. If you go to anyafloris.com, there's a link to the Discord, and I share all the fun announcements there and lives, and we have Star Rail chats. I'm going to be starting to stream some other games for fun. We might play Jackbox. I don't know. We're going to have a great time.
Jackbox is really fun. It is really, really, really fun.
I'm looking forward to, but you have to be a Discord member to be able to play.
There's the plug. Listen, guys, you have once again sat down with greatness. All of her information, the links will be down below. If you are a supporter of the channel, if you love Honkai Star Rail, if you love great passion and work, make sure you follow her and her journey. I appreciate you all. Thank you very much for the follow, because I know you guys are going to follow. Hit like, subscribe, and welcome to the House of Hounds. We're out.